All right, check it out. I got 2 boxes that came in. Last year, I bought some brassicas for the food plot. A little bag of brassicas like this big was like $80 or something. And it was mixed with purple top turnips, some kind of radishes, and blah, blah, blah. But I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of money for that stuff. So I went on an actual seed store and I bought 2 50-pound bags of seed. This whole bag right here is, okay, so this is what's called collards, like collard greens. Let me show you what that looks like here. See that tag? 99.9% pure seed. Weeds, 0. Germination rate is 94%, so that's pretty good. And then I've got another bag in here, which is the actual purple top turnip. So I got 2 different bags. But what I'm going to do is take some of these seeds, and I think I want to plant them in a little bowl. So inside this bag, you can see how when they sew this bag together, if I pull it like this at the string, it comes apart a little bit. So I'm going to try to shake it and get some of the seeds to come out. Without wasting a bunch. That was easy. Okay, so this is what a collard green seed looks like. So I'm just going to put these in here, and let me show you what the purple top turnip seeds look like. All right, so we saw what they look like, the collard greens, and here is what a purple top turnip seed looks like. Sticking exactly the same. Purple top turnip, collard green. Let's go plant them. This is the purple top turnips here. Purple top turnip, 99.9%, and germination rate of 95%. Weeds, 0. And that's where I got it from. Green clover seed, Nebraska. 50-pound bags. All right. Lab approved? Yeah. All right, get down. So I got my bowl, and I'm just going to take some dirt out of the flower pot here, and we'll sprinkle the seeds in this little bowl. It's literally been 3 days. And look at this. Look at these suckers. And don't you know I messed up when I put the collard greens in one and the purple top turnips in the other, and then I bring them in the house and I didn't label which ones was which, and now I can't remember which ones were which. 3 days. Now I sprinkled a bunch on the top there. Zoom up on this one. You can see there's still seeds just sitting on the top there. But this germination rate on whatever these ones are, these suckers are taking off. These ones are a little bit slower here, but 3 days. This is the 3rd day. By the 2nd day, I saw little tiny bits of green coming out of the little tiny seeds. It's unbelievable. But look at this sucker. So the reason I'm doing it is I want to see what these look like as they're growing, so I can identify them when they're out there in the field. So we're going to come back to these in a couple more days and see what it looks like. So the purple top turnips were like $90 for 50 pounds. And the collard greens were $107 for 50 pounds, something like that. So around $100 a bag for 50 pounds. And I was paying $80 plus shipping for, I think, for an 8-pound bag of a mix of brassicas, which it seemed to me the deer were only eating the purple top turnips. That's what I actually saw them pulling out and eating. And these collard greens are going to be an experiment to see if they eat those or not. But they're supposed to be. A collard green is a little bit different because as they eat the leaves, it can regrow leaves. Whereas a purple top turnip or a radish or something, I think when the deer eat the tops off, it's done. And it dies in the winter. And whatever one's which here is, the collard greens supposedly are a little bit more hardy and a forage type green, but we'll see. Out in the garden, let's put some dirt in some pots and we'll transplant these things. It's looking like some nice good dirt here. I don't want to put too much. All right, this time let me make sure I got them separated. Let's start with this one, whatever this is. Look at the roots. A week. Let's break them apart. This one, too much dirt. With that one. Brought them inside. So here's their new homes. I just broke them up, and I know they're still clumped, but as they grow, whatever one's the more dominant one, I'll keep, and the rest, I'll pinch them off around it just to see what it is. This one didn't have as many. So I'll just keep them in here. It's still too cold outside. And let them get bigger. We'll keep watching them. So like I said, this is week 2. Here's a little update. This is a little after 3 weeks of planting them. Look at them now. Again, I don't know what is what. This whatever these ones are, seem to do pretty well. Like you can see right here, this clump kind of died. That died. When I pulled them all apart, there was a big batch right here that died. This is just clover. This is a weed from being dirt I used from outside. So I don't want to get that mixed up. But this back here, the other one, most of them died. You can see there's only a few that lived in this one. I can't even move them. So whatever those are real delicate, which is good to know because most of them died. When I pulled them apart and separated them, most all of them died. And they got real long and stringy. See how long and stringy and how they're laying down like that? If you just touch them, they die. So those are real sensitive compared to these. These have more of a longer leaf, more of an oval shaped leaf, whereas the ones back there are more rounded. But it's still early. Like I said, probably just over 3 weeks maybe. We'll
do another update later.
All right, here's an update. Look at these bad boys compared to my hand. Whatever ones these are, they're about 6 inches tall, doing really well. Over here, well, these are all our plants, starter plants for the garden. But back here, let me move these peas out of the way. But back there, that's all that's left of the other batch. I mean, there's one plant in there that looks kind of okay. I don't know if that's going to make it or not. The stems on them, let me zoom up. Look how fragile the stems are on them. Like, if you move them, they break. See? They're so fragile. This leaf looks a little bit different compared to these leaves. So we'll see what they are. So this is about 6 weeks, probably 6 weeks. It's still cold outside. We had a little frost last night, so I don't want to put them outside yet. So they're still hanging in there. Back in the beginning of March, I think it was like March 3rd, I planted these seeds, the brassica seeds. These are, I believe, the collard greens, not the purple top turnips. Look how big these got. Wow, it's probably 2 feet tall. It's going to seed. That is an original seed planted in the soil in the flower box there that has not been touched, just left alone to grow where it was from a seed. Now let me show you what happened to the ones that I planted in the little cups. I put them in a little air garden. Then from that I transplanted them into the little cups, and then from the little cups I put them in some planters, and they started doing well. But then they got big, and I said, well, I gotta put them out in the garden. So I transplanted them a third time and moved them out here into the garden because they got so big. And when I did, they almost died. They literally wilted away to nothing because I messed with the roots. And this is what's left. Well, of course, there's bugs getting into it now, but I believe that's the purple top turnips because I can see some purple down there. And this side is the collard greens. But look how shabby they look from being moved. So I guess the moral of the story is leave them alone. Once you plant them, leave them alone and don't touch them. I mean, they're still kind of hanging in there, but man, compared to the one that's up in the planter that wasn't touched, it's 10 times as good as these are. So, but I can kind of tell the difference now. I mean, that was the leaves are hard to tell, but the purple top turnips actually have the purple on there. I guess once it gets big enough, you can kind of see. But that's that. That's the end of that experiment. Now I know. Don't mess with them.